When the DCEU started, they wanted to go in a very linear line, and they never wanted to connect to any other version previously established in live action. Over the course of the last couple of years, that has changed, and a big thank you to this is owed to Crisis on Infinite Earths over on the CW. Now let's hear from the DC president on why exactly they're changing to make the multiverse the path for the future of all live action DC. If you look back on the original reveal of the DC universe that was going to take shape after Man of Steel, we had Batman v Superman, we had multiple Justice League films, we had Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and more were going to be announced once these films were out. They were looking to go up and compete against Marvel Studios and try to rival them with output and quality. And a couple of years into it, they've decided that that's not exactly the way they're going to handle things, and there's been a reshuffle of directors, projects, and pretty much everything that they had in mind. At one point, the film guys were laughing at the TV guys on the CW because of what they were doing, but those guys were able to realize such a coherent universe and interconnected plots that eventually it led to the film guys actually wanting to work in that realm. Now, when you look at the future of the DCEU, it's changed quite a lot. The Batman is no longer happening with Ben Affleck. Instead, they have a new Batman played by Robert Pattinson. The Flash film is turning into a soft reboot of the entire DCEU. The Joker film that at one point was going to be Jared Leto's Joker was given to Joaquin Phoenix. And there's been other changes that have been made all over the place, including what happens with Green Lantern, what happens with Cyborg, who's now living a happy life over on Doom Patrol, and multiple other DC projects in live action have been greenlit, some of them spinning off of what we've already seen that's in development, like the Suicide Squad and the Batman. So recently, the DC film president was asked about why this is happening and what exactly is the reason for the change into how they're approaching the future, and why is it the multiverse. And he says that right now he believes that the audience is sophisticated enough to understand it, and if they just have to make these movies like this, and if they're all part of the multiverse, the audience will understand it. As long as the movie is good, they're not going to question anything. And honestly, he's right. I mean, look at the CW again. That's the best example. I know tons of people that tuned in for Crisis on Infinite Earths without ever having watched anything else on the CW, and they understood what was happening because they made the story simple enough and they took their time to tell you what's at stake and get going towards the end of the show. So again, it works. All you have to do is make good movies. And I'm pretty sure most of you know somebody whose first MCU film was The Avengers, for example, but they understood it because the script was there and the film did what it needed to bring new people into it, but also pay respect to the people that have been there from the beginning. So it looks like that's their new approach, and that the multiverse is going to be a huge part of it because that's what he said. The multiverse is their future. That's their plan.